Oh, he said he was telling people to not sit there in front of us. picture it for me, just in case it's not. Yeah. I do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I haven't changed any settings from the last game, so. Yeah. They got a headset. It kind of sounds like very online, but
Hi, love.
okay, no worries. They put it over there. Go around sitting there.
Imagine we lose to Brentford. I won't even come.
Good evening all and welcome to the quarterfinals of the Sapphire Cup competition for the first time broadcast live on YouTube. I'm Annabelle Bamfield out here at Cirillo Reserve in Middleton Grange for this quarterfinal between the SD Raiders and Hills United. Very exciting matchup, different approaches taken by both sides. SD are fielding a very young lineup, wanting to get them some experience in senior football. For Hills, they're coming off a massive win in the NPL competition last weekend and a relatively unchanged lineup for them. We'll get going for you with your starting lineups for the home side. The SD Raiders, currently ladder leaders in the League One women's competition. They start with number 1, Natasha Pentecost. 25, Sienna Fleming. 28, Amelia Croft. 29, Ella Cortez. 47, Charlotte Yule. 48, Leanne Mercer. 49, Sofia Knezevich. 52, Shada Onku. 53, Angela Samulos. 54, Veronique Ferrier. And 57, Ayuen Majak. And on the bench for the Raiders, 14, Sarah Mandil. 27, Caitlin Britton. 24, Christina Putris. 32, Mina Gugaris. And 38, Rabab Fanush. Hills United come into this lineup with 3 changes. Into the lineup comes Kasha, Buchanan and Burns. But we'll run you through in order, starting for Hills United. Number 3, Aisling Davidson. 4, Charlotte Hogan. 5, Victoria Martin. 7, Paula Bozagil. 8, Ayaseno. 11, Natalie Kasha. 15, Tamsin Buchanan. 18, Erin Tavares. 20, Madeline Ero. 22, Neve Burns. And 25, Jessica Garrett. And on the bench for Hills, 1, Nicola Simmons. 10, Bianca Galliini. 12, Zoe Murdoch. 17, Olivia Sloan. 19, Portia Berrios. 23, Rachel Glendenning. And 36, Libby Morris. As I said, different approaches for these two sides. They were playing in the same league just a year ago before Hills United achieved promotion to the NPL women's competition. But today, the SD Raiders have opted for a young lineup. They have a massive league matchup on the weekend against the Newcastle Jets, just 1 point behind them and currently lead them in the all-important club championship, which does decide who gets promoted. So the club said that whilst the Sapphire Cup's important to them, they are prioritising the weekend's matchup against the Jets. As for Hills, making a semi-final of a Football New South Wales competition would no doubt be a massive boost to the side. And that's who gets us started. Hills United going long to their right-hand side. And it'll be the first touch for SD Raiders, Majak. Fleming gives up an early free kick. Hills deliver. Takes the head of Davidson before going out for a goal kick. Davidson's been a standout for Hills through their maiden NPL campaign. Been in numerous Team of the Weeks, been a Defender of the Month in March. And has been rock solid for Hills at the back. Kasha managed to stay strong despite 2 Raiders surrounding her. Davidson delivers over the top. It's Sano in pursuit. Joins the side recently after a A-League campaign with the Western Sydney Wanderers. Goal kick coming here for the Raiders. At this stage, it has been all in the Raiders' half. I don't think they have crossed halfway once. They'll have to defend here. Tavares wins the ball quickly. Finds Sano. It's a crowded area. Tavares on the ball now. He's dispossessed by Cortez. Davidson spreads wide to Martin. Martin able to drive down the sideline. Fleming wide for Majak, and it's intercepted only to go out for a throw in here. Composure in the box there from the SD Raiders. This youthful lineup, mostly under 18s and 23s players, taking the field tonight. And for the first time, they've forced the ball into Hill's half. Another throw in to come here for the visitors. It's popped out wide to Martin here. Hill's driving forward. Looking to play in Sano. Interception was made in the Raiders' back line. One back quickly again. Here come Hills with Sano. To Tavares. Aaron Tavares. And save was made by Pentecost, but Tavares was offside anyway. So dangerous early signs here for Hills United. No doubt they have had the better start. When you consider the lineups, that is to be expected. The SD Raiders know that they are underdogs tonight. And Hills will likely, as we've seen so far, control much of the possession. Another offside call on Hills. This time, Neve Burns, promoted to the starting lineup for this evening, was offside. Knezovic now. Sano has a path to goal. Ayaseno squares it for Kasha. Another big save there from Pentecost. It's popped out and cleared by Fleming. Hills will come once again. Martin with the cross. Scrapes the head of Knezovic on the way through. Bouncing around. Fleming and Kasha. Knezovic. And Fleming goes long towards Yule. Hills looking to work it down the right-hand side. It's intercepted by Fleming. Majak now for Onku. And the ball over the top that Yule will not get there in time for. Rolls through to Ero for her first touch of the game. New Zealand international after getting called up to camps for her nation earlier in the year. Made her debut for New Zealand in 2026. It's fantastic to have players who represent their nations in our Football New South Wales competitions. SD Raiders with some possession in Hills territory for the first time really this evening. Now they're inside the Hills box. Tackles made by Buchanan, and it comes out to Kasha. But some positive signs here for the Raiders, a young group. Perhaps that can boost their confidence for the rest of the matchup. Burns skips through Fleming, gets the pass off to Kasha. Some scrambling Raiders defence comes to the rescue on the edge of their own box. Ball's popped out to Hogan. Now with Sano. Just as quickly as they win it, SD Raiders are back in defensive mode. This time it's out on the right with Victoria Martin. One of many players recruited to the club this season. Martin now dashing in. Gets the ball to Kasha. Across the face of goal. The Raiders looking to build up from the back. Some clever passing. Pressure coming now from Tavares. They've worked it out to the right-hand side, only for Buchanan to win the ball for Hills. Throw-in's been awarded. Boza Gill took it out over the sideline. Down the line from Cortez. It's back with the fullback. Spinning out of trouble there. And a quick switch of play from the SD Raiders. Hills will come once again. It's out wide with Buchanan. Interception is made by Ferrier. Early throws taken. Physicality from Sano. She gets the better of Knezovic on that occasion. Hogan. Sano. Now back to Kasha. Looking to stretch this SD Raiders defence. Hills United. Garrett for Davidson. Hogan wide for Martin. Combining with Burns now. And Hills just showing their patience in attack. Willing to work the ball around before finding a path forward. Another throw in for Hills. Getting closer and closer to the SD Raiders corner flag down that sideline. Now they'll be wanting to deliver into the area. It's with Ayaseno. She puts the cross in, headed away. Second touch comes for the Raiders. It's with Yule now. She's all alone. There's about 4 defenders. Garrett makes the tackle. But Charlotte Yule gets plenty of ground, and now the support arrives from the SD Raiders. They're in a good area here to mount an attack. Early switch. Davidson plays it long. Pushes her defense up. Ready to press now. Once again, Hills are quick to win it back. They like defending high up the pitch. Played to Bozagil. Now Buchanan. Tavares wants it. She opts to go towards Saino. It's an excellent ball. Very, very close to reaching Aya Saino. Just curled away from her at the last moment. Once again, the Hills are in a good area. It's Tavares who turns inside. Gets the cross, beats every player, and will go out the far side for a throw. Both these sides have had quite different paths to this quarterfinal game. For the SD Raiders, they have played only association teams thus far in the competition. Beat Springwood 10-0 in round 1. Then they beat the Flying Bats 4-0 in round 2. Just a few weeks ago, a 5-1 win over Coogee United booked their spot here in the quarterfinal. As for Hills, they've had a slightly tougher run, though no doubt would have been favourites in their games thus far. They had a bye round 1 before beating South Coast Flame, another League One women's team, in the second round of the competition. And then again, just a couple of weeks ago, they had a massive 11-0 win over East Gosford City. So they did have one close matchup against a League One women's opponent. Can the SD Raiders compete once again and perhaps do one better than the Flame managed? Davidson, high up the field in a more advanced role than you'd typically see a centre-back. Clever 1-2 between Bozagil and Saino. She's forced on the outside of Majak. And Majak doesn't let her get goalward, but there is a corner coming here. First corner of the game goes the way of Hills United. And immediately, their two tallest players, their aerial threats, centre-backs Davidson and Garrett, quickly step up into the box. And they have been dangerous on corners all season. Ball comes in from Bozagil. Meets Garrett. The clearance there from the Raiders. There's no player high to contest that ball. Delivery is attempted there from Hogan. See Raiders looking to play a direct style when they win it. Jack now playing back, and that's a ambitious pass for her goalkeeper. Pentecost does well. Knezovic gets a touch. Scramble in the middle of the field for the Raiders. Calmed down in the end by Ferrier. Saino cruises past Fleming. Can't beat Knezovic. And on who has some room on this left-hand side, looking to play Yule. Pass was well read. It's definitely Hills who have had the much better possession thus far and been creating much better opportunities. Here comes Burns. Sano. Out wide now to Martin. Cross comes in. Beats a couple of Hills players in the box. There was some desperation, but they weren't effective at getting onto that ball from Martin. Ball's gone out wide to Martin again. Can she deliver once more? 1-2 with Burns was the plan, but a little bit of miscommunication there. Martin and Burns just not quite on the same page. Burns one of 3 changes to this Hills United lineup after a massive 1-0 win over Gladesville. Especially after Gladesville beat second placed Arpia just the week before. Kasha for Buchanan, both formerly of the Northwest Sydney Spirit, who are certainly struggling after a mass exodus of players. Here's Martin now, also a former Spirit player, as is Tavares on the ball now. He's got through to Burns, square to Sano, and a massive save. Pentecost, 3-on-1 by herself. The goalkeeper at the back pulls out a wonderful quick reaction save down low to her left. She's keeping them in it so far. Still 0-0 between Hills United and the SD Raiders. Ball's won there by Messer. Played back to Ferrier. Yule with a slight mistiming as she attempted to control that ball. Raiders look happy to sit, happy to leave Hills with possession in their own defensive third. Now the Raiders, they give it up cheaply. Kasha, ball forward for Sano. Takes a strike and just across the face of goal. Hills are certainly knocking at the door, but haven't found a way in just yet. Played short. Knezovic goes long. Garrett driving forward through the middle. Kasha for Burns. Burns is strong. Cross was aimed towards Tavares. Didn't make it to her teammate there. And it's the Raiders who carry the ball out. And they are holding on to the clean sheet at this stage, the SD Raiders, but Hills have had certainly all the opportunities and some good ones they're building now. Ball over the top. Buchanan is after it. Hills have been getting these fullbacks, these wingbacks involved in the attack. Buchanan on this left-hand side, and Martin has been delivering from the right. Hills once again combining well through their midfield, using those fullbacks. Martin looking to make an advanced run. The interception was there from Fleming. And Knezovic comes away with the ball in a tackle with Sano. This time they'll try the left-hand side, Hills. Hogan with the ball forward to Buchanan. Little bit too straight, allows Knezovic into the play. Bozagil. Cross comes in, makes its way to Burns, now with Kasha. Martin gets around Majak. Gets the cross in, a flying effort from Kasha. Doesn't work too well for her. And it's Mercer who dribbles the ball out over the sideline to give Hills possession once again. This Hills team, they've needed to be patient. But no doubt frustration will be starting to grow that they've built some meaningful opportunities and are yet to break the deadlock. Fancy back heel pass attempted from Bozagil. Doesn't come off on that occasion. This Hills team, they're playing with a real mix of structure and a bit of creative flair. Ferrier gets the ball towards Samalos. It's Burns up against Majak here. Hills with the throw. Ayaseno. Happy to go side to side here, Hills. Stretch this SD Raiders defense from one sideline to another. Martin now. Majak does well. Beats the play, keeps the ball in. Here's Onku. She doesn't have the same success on that left-hand side. Sano gets around Fleming. Sano dribbling along that baseline, ball drifts teasingly across the box before it's eventually cleared by Southern Districts. Clever play there from Majak. Hogan doesn't allow the forward pass. Still with the Raiders, though. See the Hills game plan. They're looking to use these fullbacks in attack. There's the ball forward for Kasha in the area now. Boza Gill, and Hills have the goal. After a long period of knocking at the door, Hills United finally get the scoring going here at Cirillo Reserve. It's Hills United 1. SD Raiders 0. You could feel it coming. Hills had pretty much all the possession, certainly all of the attacking opportunities. Much better field position from the visitors as well, and that goal is well deserved considering their start to this game. Can the SD Raiders find some fight back? Or will Hills start to really dominate now? They've already been dominating the play. But the scoreboard, they couldn't crack until that decisive moment from Boza Gill. And Hills back where they left off, playing comfortably at the back. Real patience about this Hills United team. Cortez has some time. She'll get a throw in after the ball probably didn't meet the desired area. Yule turns and plays a Hills player, and the Raiders are back on defense. Burns is able to turn Fleming, gets the ball to Sano. Beats one, can't beat the second defender. Croft with the tackle. The ball's popped back out to Croft. She plays back to Fleming. That pass is off the mark. Cool evening here in Sydney's southwest. It's Hills United who have a 1-0 advantage right now in this Sapphire Cup quarter-final against the SD Raiders. Ball gets to Burns. Now it's with Sano. And they continue to look dangerous in front of goal. Hills are certainly the most threatening team. Once again, Hills win it back quickly. It's become a bit of a standard in this matchup. The SD Raiders settling in with a very defensive structure, happy to hold. Southern Districts, the only team outside the NPL to progress this far in the Sapphire Cup. Football New South Wales's knockout competition. All 7 other teams in the quarterfinals are in the NPL. In saying that, ST Raiders have only beaten association teams to make it to this point. So they've had a certainly favourable draw up until now. Meanwhile, Hills are a team that are certainly on the rise in this NPL space. Started slowly in their maiden NPL campaign. A lot of new faces. Kasha, there's one of them. Ball's landed with Sano. Kept in cleverly there by Pentecost. Doesn't want to give up the corner. But yeah, Hills are growing week after week. Good win for them last weekend. They've jumped up to 8th place on the ladder after adding 3 points to their name. Building up right from the back now are Hills. Ball gets to Burns. She has some room to move. Early ball that probably wasn't the best decision there from Neve Burns. Ferrier turns away from one defender right into another. This Hills team is hunting as a pack. The Raiders at this stage are struggling to find answers. On the edge of their own box, Knezovic looks to clear. Gets it to Yule, now Mercer. Here comes the press for the Raiders.
Come on!
Rosa Gill plays through the gap towards Tavares. Pentecost was already up and off her line. Scrappy from SD Raiders, but they're still in possession. Perhaps overcommitted to the press there. Who was able to find a way forward quickly. A retreating Raiders defense forces them back. Martin. Now with Seno. The Japanese star. Martin keeps the ball in, gets the cross towards Tavares. Kasha, her shot is blocked. It's still in the box. Just popped out now. Hogan looks to settle things. Hills pull it back. Trying to find another way forward. Tavares beats Croft. It's been a lot of defending here for the Raiders. They've asked themselves to absorb a lot of pressure. Conceded one. Kasha slips the ball through for Burns. Back to Martin. Her delivery comes in, makes its way to Tavares. Eventually cleared, not very far though. Still on the edge of the area. Rosa Gill, the goal scorer, on the ball now. But Croft is down in the middle of the field for the Raiders. Back up on her feet now. Amelia Croft. All good to continue. Ball over the top. Excellent ball from Davidson. It's Martin. Cutting back towards Kasha. It's blocked by Mercer. Hogan from distance. The save was made by Pentecost. She couldn't hold on to the ball though. And it'll be a Hills United corner, this time from the left side. Every single Southern Districts player back in the box looking to defend. Especially Garrett and Davidson, the two tallest Hills players who are excellent through the air. Ball comes in, floats towards the back post. Garrett gets the header, but just wide of the target. Ferrier loses out. Hogan on the ball now for Hills. They've come a long way back here, Hills. A switch of play. Gets to Martin. Footwork there from Neve Burns. Clever from the youngster. It's popped out to Burns. Now Kasha. Buchanan. It's a bit messy in the middle of the field. They use the throw-in to switch the point of attack. Martin finds Burns. Cross comes in, Kasha. Her shot is blocked, and Cortez with the clearance. Hogan wins the header over the top of Yule, who definitely has the height advantage. It may have been some sort of push-off in the back of Yule because she is clutching the back of her neck now. Play will resume with an SD Raiders drop ball. Cortez on it. Croft is tackled by Kasha. Raiders. Clever 1-2 Samulos. Comes off second best in that challenge with Hogan. Majak beats Martin to the ball. This Hills team just look a touch more composed. They have that additional class about them, and the Raiders are playing with a very youthful lineup tonight. They are prioritising the league matchup this weekend with the Newcastle Jets, currently the only team above them on the all-important club championship, which the top team at the end of the season in those club championship standings will be promoted to the NPL Women's New South Wales competition for 2027. Newcastle Jets are looking to make it one and done in League One. They were relegated at the end of last year, 2025, and don't want to spend too long in the second division. Meanwhile, the SD Raiders have been building something here in Sydney Southwest for a long time. A community club looking to develop their own talent and promote them to higher levels. And no doubt have done so. They will be able to have more an effect if the club was at the NPL status, and that's the goal for this year. Advantage is played for Hills there after the foul on Hogan. The physicality of Fleming works well. But the Raiders are just struggling to hold on to possession. Immediately after they win the ball, whether it be through a tackle or they get it on a throw-in, they are very quick to lose possession. And then Hills, can they punish? It's Martin with the cross. Tavares meets it. The clearance has people holding their breaths as it goes across the goal. With Hills once more. Garrett and Davidson have all the time in the world as they hold on to the ball at halfway. No pressure being applied from the Raiders on those two Hills centre backs. A very conservative defensive style from the home team. Martin with the throw in. She goes down that right sideline. Burns carries it into the box. Charlotte Yule now for the SD Raiders. She carries it across halfway. She's looking for support. Doesn't have much in the way of support, and a long range effort. Ends up being a simple take for Madelinero, but that is the SD Raiders' first shot of the evening, right on the halftime whistle. In this Sapphire Cup quarter-final, it's Hills United leading 1-0 over the SD Raiders. Second half underway here at Cirillo Reserve. It's the Sapphire Cup quarterfinals here between Hills United and the SD Raiders. And it was the visitors, Hills United, who took a 1-goal advantage into the break, courtesy of Paula Boza-Gill. It was a half dominated by Hills. Certainly in terms of the possession, opportunities created, but could only put 1 goal on the scoreboard. So there's still all to play for both sides. Raiders very much with a chance to cause a major upset, playing against a team 1 division above them as League 1 takes on MPL, and with a very young lineup as they look to give some experience to their under-18s and under-23s players as they develop their own here, the SD Raiders. Just 1 change at the half, and it's in goals for the SD Raiders. Off comes Natasha Pentecost, who was excellent in the first half, made some incredible saves that are very much keeping the Raiders in the contest. And now between the sticks for the Raiders, Caitlin Britton. Otherwise, the field players unchanged for both sides as Martin drives down this right-hand side. That's a phrase we said a lot of in the first half as the Hills look to get their fullbacks involved in the play and overloading the attack. Hogan now forward to Sano. She's able to turn. Beats a second. Plays the pass wide to Martin. Driving now into the area. Martin, the cross comes in. It's met by Kasha. And Britton gets her first touch on the ball. As the keeper scrambles to pick up a loose ball, bouncing around in the 6-yard box. Buchanan's ball makes its way to Boza-Gill. She's already scored 1. Britton makes the save. And Britton is laying flat on the ground. Back up on her feet now. A massive save from the substitute. And the Hills have not wasted any time in earning themselves a corner. 2 hands raised out by the flag for Boza-Gill. Just like their plan in the first half, every single SD Raider is inside the 18-yard box, ready to defend this set piece. Boza-Gill's delivery. Out over the top of the goal. Curls all the way out for a goal kick. Croft looking to play in Newell. It was Garrett who made the interception. For Martin now. Not only a player for the club, but also a coach. As Tavares is into the area, and Erin Tavares makes it 2 for Hills. They waste no time in this second half, extending their lead. Hills United now in the box seat to book their spot in the Sapphire Cup semi-finals. They're up 2-0 over the SD Raiders in this clash. And how will this young Raiders group respond? They are certainly the underdogs. They will have to come from behind and they will have to do it against the run of play. But can they find a way back into this quarterfinal? It's a massive achievement for a League One side to progress this far in the competition. They are the only non-MPL team remaining in this Football New South Wales knockout competition. This is the first of the quarterfinals to be played. Tomorrow night, make sure you tune in as UNSW and Apia go head-to-head. That's a huge game. Two heavyweights in the NPL. They played just a couple of weeks ago. It ended all square. A draw between two sides right at the top of the competition. So no doubt in a knockout game, there'll be a lot on the line, and that's where, if things end square, it keeps going. Burns. Still with Burns. Eventually cleared by the Raiders. But that's the thing, if the Raiders can find 2 goals in them inside the 90, then it will go to extra time and penalties if needed. A winner must come from these knockout games. Martin with the throw-in. Fleming gets a touch. It bounced up and into... It did look like perhaps into Fleming's arm. Referee has deemed it a non-offence, and play continues here at Cirillo Reserve. Cross comes in, headed away by Ferrier. Crofts looking to turn in the midfield. Can't clear the ball very far. Hogan sends it forward once again for Hills, and another throw in here. Sano. Back for Kasha. Now Bozagil. For Hogan. Buchanan. It's come to Burns. Kasha. It's a very tight grouping of players on the edge of the box. Tavares. The flag is raised against Aaron Tavares. As I said, 2 massive quarterfinals this week. The first that here between Hills United and SD Raiders. And here's a change coming for the Raiders. Done for the evening is Ayun Majak. And into the action is Rabab Fanush. Ball's played long by Croft. Headed away by Hills. It's fallen to Kasha. Burns. Clever 1-2. Back to Kasha. Excellent ball. Sano. Rounds Britton. Gets a touch, the keeper. Sano's forced to go backwards. And now Buchanan. Excellent strike from the left back. Right on the edge of the box. First time hit. And Hills now very much in control of this quarterfinal. They're up 3-0 over the SD Raiders. Starting to show their class here, Hills United, just a step above their opposition this evening. And the first change for Hills United, done for the evening, is Jessica Garrett. And into the match, Zoe Murdoch. So, of course, nothing's impossible, and never say never, but it's a long road for the Raiders to get back in this game. Foul committed there on Samulos. Fanush. Back to Fleming, now with Knezovic. It's gone out on the right-hand side now. Mercer in pursuit, back to Iro, who goes long, the keeper, bouncing around on the edge of halfway. Tavares able to turn. And the ball goes forward to Burns, well ahead of the winger, who certainly has some pace but isn't quite that quick. Murdoch, the substitute, getting her first touches. Now Sano, Tavares. Erin Tavares, her cross comes along that 6-yard line, and Britton is able to come out and make the save. Samalos, now for Fanush. Ball's with Iro now. The Kiwi plays out to the left. There's 2 more big quarterfinals to come next week. On Tuesday up at North Taramara. It's the Northern Tigers who will host the Illawarra Stingrays. So, big away day for the Illawarra side, who have to travel up from the south coast. Here's Ferrier. Samalos, apologies. And Hogan is shown a yellow card. So here's a chance for the SD Raiders. It's a long way out for Fanush to go for goal, but an attacking set piece. Their first of the game. And could this be the way that the SD Raiders spark their comeback? Fanush's ball drops on the edge of the box. Down now with Onku, and now Yule. Iro, the diving save. Yule is on the ground and has not yet gotten back up. Yule remains down inside the 6-yard box. Samalos's cross makes its way to Buchanan, now with Ferrier. Croft. Yule is still down. The ball is with her teammates. And Fleming plays it out so that Yule can get some attention. It did take a long time there for the SD Raiders to catch on to the fact that Yule was still down and needed the play to stop. Back up on her feet now, just getting a bit of attention. It looks like the left knee is what's bothering Charlotte Yule. No doubt players won't want to be standing still. It's quite a cool evening here at Middleton Grange, Sydney's southwest. Martin, back to Kasha. I think the SD Raiders are a little bit frustrated. They kicked the ball out so their player could get medical attention. They expected the ball to be returned and it wasn't. Here's Sano now. Ball forward for Tavares. And it's Mercer. Not neglecting her defensive duties, the winger gets back to make that tackle. Ball's popped out. Bozagil on the edge of the area. Too many bodies to navigate. Davidson over the top. Burns. It's a foot race between her and Britton, and the keeper does very well to get there first. Another change coming here for Hills United. In fact, a triple change coming here for Hills United. Charlotte Hogan, Aya Sano, and the goal scorer who got things going this evening, Paula Bozagil, are all finished into the action. It's Rachel Glendenning, Libby Morris, and Portia Berrios. Handball there against Hills. And all the Hills United substitutes immediately back into the change room to get warm. Get some layers on. It's really not a warm evening here at Middleton Grange. Fleming goes long. Davidson with a confident header. Croft goes back to Britton. Caitlin Britton fires a long ball. It goes into the head, I believe, of Portia Berrios, who winds up a long-range effort that doesn't end up challenging the goal. Britton plays short this time. Morris. Tavares. Martin getting forward. She's been a bundle of energy up and down this right-hand side, Victoria Martin. Goes out for a throw-in rather than a corner there. Taken quickly. It's with Berrios. Kasha loses position. It's with Onku. Gets the better of the turn. Ball played down the line. Just running along that sideline and won't go out. Davidson plays the pass to Martin. And then a clever piece of work there from Martin to win the throw. Gets it to Morris. Morris, another new signing. Joins the club from the MacArthur Rams, where she won a premiership 2 years ago. Glendenning gets the cross in. Takes a touch off Knezovic. The shot is blocked. Fleming can't muster up a meaningful clearance. Still on the edge of the area. Berrios is out-muscled by Croft. Long ball. Yule is in pursuit. Murdoch was there. And quickly played by Iro to Buchanan, who has acres of space. And it's Hills who are very much in control of this game, controlling the tempo and the pace of this matchup. And it's kept in by Buchanan. Cut back from distance. Shot takes a couple of deflections on the way through, slows down. Kasha winds up. It's out with Tavares, back to Kasha. Those two have been teammates that have followed each other around from the Northwest Sydney Spirit to the Mount Druitt Town Rangers, now here at Hills United. Davidson stepping forward. Glendenning. Britton gets a touch, but she can't hold on to it, and Tavares bags herself another goal. A brace now for Erin Tavares as Hills United are starting to run away with this one, up 4-0 over the SD Raiders in this Sapphire Cup quarter final. Couple more substitutions being prepared on the Hills United bench. Getting ready on the SD Raiders sideline too. So we could see some new faces into the matchup in just a moment. Here come the Raiders. It's Mercer. She loses possession there. When they do win it, it's often one at a time for the Raiders. It's not a collective go forward. Whereas you can see with Hills, it's much more structured, much more organised as 11 players are working to get the ball down the field. And look, it does make sense. The Raiders are not playing their first 11 this evening. It's a real mix of 18s and 23s players that they're looking to stretch and give this experience to, especially before a must-win match up against the Newcastle Jets in League One Women's this weekend. Tavares is hunting for a hat-trick. Ball's come out to Morris, winding up, takes a deflection, and across the face of goal. It was an almighty deflection that Britton didn't really have a chance of getting to. Luckily for her, goes out for a corner instead of into the net. Corner to come here, taken by Morris. Drifted in and is eventually tucked in. It looked like Morris had scored it on her own. I'm not sure who the goal will be credited to there. Morris certainly had a very nice strike from the corner, but it may be Berrios who tapped it in. A real chaos in the 6-yard box there, and the Raiders just couldn't keep the ball out of the net. Now 5-0. Hills United up over the Raiders, and 2 changes to come here for the home side. Charlotte Yule is finished for the evening, as is Leanne Mercer. And into the action, Christina Putras and Mirna Guargas, apologies. One quickly by Morris. Raiders now towards Putras. Britton going long down this left-hand side. Hills United make a change, and it's the second goalkeeper substitution of the evening after SD Raiders changed their shot stoppers at half-time. For Hills, Madeline Iro comes off, and into the action is Nicola Simmons. Fleming looks to go long. Can't beat that Hills midfield. Ball's with Morris. She cuts inside Croft. Still with Morris. Kasha gets the ball to Martin. Down the sideline goes Victoria Martin. And the cross comes in over the goal there from Burns. Took a deflection on the way through, and another corner to come. Their last corner from this side, their last corner taken by Libby Morris, resulted in a goal. So what can Hills do here? Morris delivers to the back post. Davidson steers it into the net. The second header. After Burns gets the initial, it's Davidson who gets her name on the score sheet. A 6th goal for Hills United. Whilst the Raiders were able to keep the scoreline competitive in the first half, went into the breakdown just 1-0, it has certainly blown out in the second 45. They're looking to find a consolation here. They're looking to find any way they can to take a positive out of this matchup. And Hills just continue to look in command of this game. Their dominance now reflected on the scoreboard as well. And this will give them a good sense of confidence, Hills, ahead of their NPL matchup to come this weekend. They head down to Dapto to take on the Illawarra Stingrays. Should be a competitive game between two mid-table sides. And then, of course, they've got a Sapphire Cup semi-final to look forward to. Their opponent unknown, as the other 3 quarterfinals are yet to be played. And then there will be a new draw for each round of the competition. So stay tuned on all the Football New South Wales socials to see who the Hills United opponent will be. The remaining quarterfinals to be played over the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow night, it's a huge clash. Arpia Leichhardt take on UNSW. Berrios is in pursuit. She'll get to this ball first. Fleming is coming. Berrios cuts inside. And Berrios just got under that one there. So Arpia or UNSW, that's a massive game tomorrow night. Then next week, it's the Northern Tigers versus Illawarra Stingrays on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday. Western Sydney Wanderers versus Manly United in our final Sapphire Cup quarter-final. And unfortunately for Fiesta Raiders, whilst they were able to put up a good fight in the first half, they absorbed a lot of pressure and eventually it just buckled underneath that weight of the Hills United pressure, and especially in this second 45, were unable to withstand Hills, who are just a touch above, especially with a more complete first team lineup. Raiders choosing to rest a lot of girls before their weekend game against the Newcastle Jets. Certainly been some positive sides. There's signs, there's plenty of players who have shown some potential for this Raiders lineup, but it just hasn't come together as a full team performance. Martin there, tackled by Fanush. Onku showing some fancy dribbling and does get the throw in for her side. It's a free kick, I apologise, a free kick for her side. Glendenning for Martin, does well to keep it in, but right to the feet of a Raider. Fanush, the flag stays down despite Hill's hands being raised. Martin gets back and makes the tackle for Hills as they look to hold on to a clean sheet in this matchup. They've been clinical at the other end, particularly in the second half. The first half, perhaps, they should have put a few more chances away. They've made amends for that situation after half-time. Onku keeps the ball in and manages to get away from Glendenning, but not Burns. Down the line from Southern Districts. Cross comes in. And Barrios. Her effort a little bit slow and looked like it was heading wide as well. The substitute. It's almost combining there for the Raiders. Can they find something? Martin. Kasha. Little dink through the line. An excellent run from Victoria Martin. Cut back. Glendenning. Shot is blocked. It's with Barrios, who runs it out over the baseline. Goal kick incoming. Fleming just stretches out those calves. Britain can't get much distance on the goal kick. Tavares, she's hunting for the hat trick. But Croft has come off looking quite worse for wear after that challenge with Tavares. Clutching at her lower back, it looks like, or perhaps the hip. Plenty of players out there using this opportunity to get a bit of a stretch in as we enter the dying stages of this match. And with the result well and truly decided, it's just the time ticking down now. A few more Hills players would probably fancy themselves getting onto the score sheet. For the Raiders, if they could find a goal, something to smile about in what has been an otherwise quite disappointing performance, then that would be good for this young group of players. One back by Hills quickly. Gets it to Berrios, out to Morris. Now Tavares. Continues that pass. Burns. Pops out. It's with Onku. Down the line for Putras. Murdoch, a bit frustrated with herself for unnecessarily touching the ball and ensuring it would be a Raiders throw, but nonetheless stops the Southern District's progression. Good ball forward there from Fanouche. Comes all the way back out now to Knezovic. Buchanan with the interception for Hills. Another Raiders throw to come. Morris plays the simple pass to Davidson. Now Martin. Libby Morris with a great ball through the gap. Britain will get there just first. The keeper had plenty of wits about her. Ball over the top. Putras, the flag stays down. Simmons comes right out to the edge of her area to pick that ball up. Bit of side spin on the punt from Simmons. You can just see that fatigue is really getting to the players out there. They're most of the way through this game. A midweek match, and they'll have to back up for their league games on the weekend as well. So with this result decided, players are probably smart to prioritise their body. Playing with it in their own back line, Hills. The pressure was coming from Croft. Kutris for Onku. The step over. The square pass for Kraft. It's getting the crowd excited here at Cirillo Reserve from distance. The save is made by Simmons, but something for this SD Raiders fan base to get excited about. Certainly still showing strong support for the team, despite this result being pretty one-sided. Britain gets some distance. Hills, though, send it back the same way it came. It's Burns. Still going. Neve Burns. Eventually gets the shot away. It is blocked. Kasha. Just wide there. A very acrobatic Britain was up and about to make the save, but that ball just drifted away. Tavares for Burns. Burns, the save is made by Britain. Another corner to come here for Hills. But make sure you tune in tomorrow night. UNSW versus Arpia. It's the current Sapphire Cup winners. Arpia in action against ladder leaders UNSW. Ball comes in the back post. It's Davidson. And after a bounce or two on the second effort, Britain secures that ball. Big save there from the young goalkeeper. One of the Raiders players remains down in the box. I believe it's Fleming. Sienna Fleming, who's played all evening in that central defensive role alongside Knezovic. She's been under the pump all night with this Hills United team, just a relentless force coming at the SD Raiders. They've got 6 goals now to their name. A very dominant performance from the side in these two teams last year. We're in the same league in that League One women's competition. And there is the full-time whistle. It's Hills United who progressed through to the Sapphire Cup semi-finals with a very dominant 6-0 win over the SD Raiders. Goals for Hills in the first half for Paula Boza-Gill, and then unleashed a flurry in the second half. Erin Tavares with a double. Tamsin Buchanan, Portia Berrios and Aisling Davidson all got themselves on the score sheet. As I said, tune in tomorrow night, Arpia versus UNSW, the second of the quarterfinals. My name is Annabelle Bamfield, and thank you to all of those tuning in on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Have a good evening.